Ben, I guess why don't we start, if you don't mind, introducing yourself and what you're currently doing and your background.
Okay, I'm Ben Kassel. I'm a mechanical engineer by training. I graduated from the University of Maine with my Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering many decades ago, and I began my career as a mechanical design engineer. From then, I went on to becoming a computer-aided design person, a 3D solid models, and a system manager and a systems developer. And then from there, I went into research and development in computer-aided design and manufacturing systems, primarily for early stage ship design, detail design, and construction. And of course, I've always been involved in my first love, which is the design of mechanical piece parts and manufacturing processes. And that's where I got to today. I was a government employee for 37 years, and now I'm a senior consultant at LMI specializing in technical data.
So Ben, that leads me to my next question then. Why did you sign up for Action Engineering's MBD Using Modern GD&T course?
Primarily for the GD&T, because I was a little bit rusty. And as a mechanical designer, mechanical engineer who did the design, communicated the design to the shop, primarily by using dimensions with tolerances, I've fully bought into the idea of a feature-based design in which I use the relationships between the features or relationships between the faces of the surface, the faces of an object to communicate how I want the piece made with as little ambiguity or confusion as possible.
Excellent. So before you took the course, how much did you know about model-based definition and geometric dimensioning and tolerancing?
The biggest reason I took this class was more of a refresher and to see what the action engineering perspective was on the relationship of the MBD way of doing things with ASME Y14.5, but primarily it was to get a refresher on GD&T.
Okay. With that in mind, what would you say surprised you the most after you completed the course?
I had a bit of an epiphany, and I'm embarrassed to say I probably should have had this years ago, but it was during some of the discussions we had during breaks and things like that, when I started thinking about the communication of design intent. But with ASME Y14.5 approach, you truly can communicate a great portion of what the design intent should be. That's what I walked away with. That was my number one light bulb going off in the particular class I took.
So in addition to that, what were some other valuable insights you had coming out of that class?
It was just the ability to be able to take some of the concepts of GD&T and to be able to walk through them in sort of a communal atmosphere with other people and our guide who would show us this is what it means, this is what it does. Being able to think about the design of mechanical pieces and parts from that perspective was, to me, something I wish I knew when I was actually a real designer. Or maybe not necessarily knew, but was something that I was aware of and consciously thought about. I think that was a big thing too, that GD&T makes you think up front about how this part is going to be constrained itself, and more importantly, how it can be constrained by other parts in the assembly.
So Ben, what's the first thing that you have done or you will be doing to apply your new course knowledge?
I'm glad that you asked that. One of the biggest reasons I took this class is I'm in the process of putting together a presentation for our executives about why model-based definition is important, and more importantly, why the semantic definition is so important.
So Ben, your background is as a mechanical engineer. In addition to design engineers, what sort of roles or functions or job titles do you think would benefit the most from this course?
I think it's anybody who has to either author or consume the technical data package. Even perhaps people in acquisition. They might not have to have a total understanding, but to be able to look at it and to be able to get an appreciation for what this part is they're about to put out for purchase is important. Of course, anybody who's involved in the design of the manufacturer, very important, inspection, and even the people that may have to install these particular items in the field should have a good understanding of GD&T.
So now that you've completed the course, Ben, why do you think others should take it? And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with your answer or discussion on the last topic.
This is an incredibly affordable way of learning the concepts. I can pay for this 3-day class. I get a lot more understanding. I have a little bit of fun with it, and I learn it much faster, much more affordably.
Awesome. Ben, thanks a lot for your time today. I'm going to go ahead and hit